you'll give us a call. 336-222-9224. It's Talk Line. This has been going on for a while, and it appears to me that it's only on the Harry Myers Show. Well, there's no such thing as a Harry Myers Show. It's Talk Line. It makes me very aggravated when I change the channel. Well, it aggravates me when you change the channel too, during a commercial or a caller that I don't like. I get blasted by the volume that all other stations are at, which I'm sure the FCC mandate should be all the same. No, it does not mandate that. The FCC mandates that you can't be louder than anybody else, but it doesn't say that you have to be the same volume as everybody else. Maybe Harry just needs to get up closer to the microphone after 50 years in radio. Well, I'll tell you one. I give you one of the reasons we on Talk Line we use a delay, and when you insert a delay within the system, the volume drops a little bit. So our volume on a talk show with a delay system is the kind that we use. It's going to reduce the volume just a little bit anyway. So you set the volume for your radio station at its optimal level, which is where it is, and where our station is, and then you put in a system that allows you to cut off somebody who says something that you don't want to be on, that you don't want to have on the air, like cussing. That's what I usually hit the switch for somebody who curses or says something inappropriate. But when you have a delay system like that, it reduces the volume just a little bit. So that's probably what you're hearing. I'm sorry it's so aggravating to you. I can't imagine being, because I switch around radio stations all the time. I like to listen to radio stations, and they all are at a different level, every one of them.
I want to talk about one of my favorite subjects of all things, the United States Secret Service. Since one of our satellite locations for Work of Ministries is Washington, I've often observed their work they perform. It's because my work with the homeless takes place in an area that's close to the White House. And as I watch an agent that's walking up and down the sidewalk in front of the White House, I often think about how would it be if I were in his shoes and it's snow on the ground and it's 25 degrees outside, but my assignment is to walk up and down that sidewalk. And this is when I thank God for those beloved servants who are willing to work in this kind of environment, and that includes their willingness to become a human shield when protecting those that they serve. No wonder that Jesus Christ said, "Greater is no man than one who will lay down his life for another." That fits them perfectly. Now, in spite of the excellent work they perform, I do have a few concerns. For example, we remember the evil one who hid in the woods that joined the president's golf course down at Palm Beach and West Palm Beach, and he had a gun, and thank God an agent who was ahead of the president saw the individual and prevented what could have been an assassination. And I bring up this subject only because I guess I was so shocked over the fact that the only separation there between that wooded area and the golf course was a barbed wire fence, which isn't a lot of protection. I just simply wondered why there isn't a brick wall there or something of that nature. But now I'm going to say that a greater concern that I have, that I've carried with me for many, many years, is what took place outside of that same Hilton hotel when a perpetrator actually shot and injured President Reagan. It was absolutely a security breach in that perpetrator had been able to mingle in with members of the press and was standing out there on the sidewalk just outside of the hotel when the president walked outside. And, his presence was totally undetected. That bothers me even to this day. But what about what took place Saturday night in the same hotel when thankfully the president and no one else was shot or injured? My question this morning is, was this really a security breach? Now, I say that only because of this. After hearing from the retired Secret Service agent Patrick Sullivan, I'm not sure. You see, this is what this man says. He says, we have 3 levels of security with the outer perimeter, the middle perimeter, and the inner perimeter. Checkpoint attacks are always done repeatedly, so we expect an attack on the checkpoint. But he says the attacker was stopped before he actually got into the secure area. beyond all of this morning, and I want to address two significant issues concerning president security. How about the Trump haters from the Democratic Party that refuse to vote to get these funds to operate the Department of Homeland Security that oversees the United States Secret Service? It's been unfunded for more than 70 days, and that doesn't do very much to enhance morale among those agents. And because of this kind of crap, it should not be a surprise that the Secret Service saw an exodus of over 1,400 employees between 2022 and 2023, the highest in over 2 decades. Chronic shortages are blamed on intense overtime, limited training time, competition from other agencies, and a slow, rigid hiring process. And a September 2025 Inspector General report found that the counter sniper team is understaffed by 73% compared to requirements, often forcing the use of overtime and unqualified staff to cover protective events. I simply bring all of this to our attention this morning so we're careful not to be too critical of these individuals who have saved President Trump's life 3 times starting in Butler, Pennsylvania. Now let's add to all of this security concerns related to this new White House ballroom construction project. Can you imagine the nightmare in checking out construction workers who own that property and trying to protect that open area? It is open. And the Treasury Department, what is interesting is the Treasury Department happens to be located on the left side of the White House as you face the north side of the White House. And the Secret Service is so concerned, they even ask everyone in offices on the right side of that Treasury building to keep the shades pulled on the windows while that construction project is taking place. I don't know how you enforce that, but that was something that they brought up. And if that's not enough, construction has stopped because of a lawsuit that's created by this National Trust for Historic Preservation. And not one dime of taxpayers' money is being spent on this ballroom. But they feel the need for a lawsuit, of course, because Donald Trump occupies the Oval Office. But excuse me, I know of no lawsuits concerning any past president who has taken action to bring the White House up to acceptable standards. And in a letter that was published this past Saturday, just as soon as that situation took place at the Hilton, a letter was published from the Assistant Attorney General Brett Shumate concerning this outfit. He said the incident on Saturday night underscores the need for a secure on-site venue instead of large events that are held outside of the White House perimeter. He said the venue presents significant security challenges for the Secret Service, which can be eliminated through having the ballroom. Mr. Shumate said, put simply, your lawsuit puts the lives of the president, his family, and his staff at grave risk, and I hope that yesterday's narrow miss will help you to finally realize the folly of a lawsuit that literally serves to the purpose to stop President Trump, no matter the cost. But I got to close this way, folks. You see, that is a problem. But you see, these people and others like them who make it difficult for DHS employees, including Secret Service, do their jobs to protect them, they could care less about the life of the president whom they hate or the agents that guard them. These, along with the one who fired that gun in that hotel Saturday night, they got one thing in common: evil hearts. Their behavior proves I am absolutely correct. Have a wonderful day, Mr. Harry. God bless you.
Thank you. 222-9224. 222-9224. Let me tell you.
Talking about an evil heart. Huh. As if Trump got a pure good heart. That evil entity. Evil. And they praise evil. That's because they are white supremacists. They're evil.
But I had comment about something yesterday. It was in response to him saying that people of Iran should just rise up. It's kind of hard to do that when the people of Iran for the last 47 years have not been allowed to have guns. anytime they speak up, they're in fear of someone beheading them or torturing their family. So it's a little bit easier to just say the people of Iran should just rise off. They just can't. They've been under such subjection for so long. I agree with him that we could go in and should go in and bomb the infrastructure and take out the military and all of the people that are in power. But the people that have been under this terror for so many years, they're scared to death. And I don't blame them. If we had been under the same scrutiny, we would probably be the same way. And so I don't ever fall in, but yesterday that really hit a nerve with me because these people have been terrorized for so long and they don't know how to pick up guns and just do that. They can't even find guns to be able to pick up and go against them. And if they are, the military will kill them. So I just wanted to bring that out.
Okay.
That there's so many people, and I'm glad that we've went in and liberated this country. This should have been done a long time ago. And the only other thing I wanted to say is to your point about the post office this morning. Totally agree with you. I got rid of my post office box about 3 years ago. We put in a locking box in our house, and we've had no problems with it. So
Maybe that's what I need, a locking box in my house.
Yeah, we went to the post, when we went to Home Depot, we picked up one for less than $200, and we all spent $200 and some on every 6 months. We got one for less than $200. We installed it in concrete in front of our house. It takes a key to open it up, and it works great.
Well, good. That's a solution. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're here to say something about what I heard. Some of the conversations I heard yesterday between you and Barry, granted didn't hear the whole show and didn't hear only have that call of this show, but are we now supposed to be the saviors of each country that has problems? If that is the case, we're going to be never-ending and never-ending wars. And this is exactly what Trump said would keep us out of. Never-ending wars. I have sympathy for every country that's going through issues. We have issues. We're not exempt. We're not God's perfect country, God's perfect place on earth. We're not. Although a lot of people want to wave the flag high, say, well, but we're not. If we're saying now that we're saving Christians around the world, well, what about the Christians in Lebanon? If we read our Bible, isn't Lebanon the land where God performed his first miracle? Isn't that where in the Bible where we Christians believe God walked? Jesus walked? But they're being slain daily by our Israeli partners. They're Christians in Gaza, believe it or not. There's Christians in Russia. Here's a shocker. There's Christians in Africa and South Africa. And yeah, we know that Trump was brought the South Africans that were supposed to be enslaved by what those white Christians were being killed. And so he brought those white South Africans here. But again, that's not the whole story. There were some people being killed on a farm, one farm, where the guy ran the farm like a plantation and they rose up. And they killed the guy and some of his family members. Should that have happened? No. But should he be running the plantation? No. But we were told they were killing white Christians in South Africa. We had to bring them white. So what is this country? What are we, the policing of the world? Is that our job now? And let's give some history to this. I remember when Obama was almost ran out of the presidential primary, when his pastor made the statement that the chickens will come home to roost for the United States. Oh, everybody, he's a socialist. That means Obama's a socialist. No, it was. Birds of a feather flock together. And so if his pastor said something that was socialist,
Obama had to be one, but you know, birds don't flock together. Don't flock together if it's Trump and Epstein. Those birds don't flock together.
Say so. Say so.
But what that preacher was saying is the same thing Ronald Reagan, Assistant Secretary of State, said. We are meddling in people's affairs too much, and at some point, those people are going to respond. If not this generation, the next generation will respond. So let's look about what happened in Iran. Iran was a functioning democracy in the 40s. But what did Iran have? Oil. Who wanted it? The United States and Great Britain. So they formed BP. They imprisoned the duly elected Prime Minister Mogadishu, threw him in prison, and installed the Shah, who reigned down oppressive reign for 26 years. And the Iranian people got tired and overthrew him. And who I thought was the best president that ever sat in the White House, Franklin Roosevelt, one of the mistakes he made, and I don't have a problem saying somebody I supported, and I think was the best president, still made mistakes. One of the mistakes that he made the statement is, he may be an SOB, but he's our SOB. So what you do over in that country to your people, as long as you give us what we need, we're gonna turn the other eye blindly. And so we installed the Shah, allowed the executive regime to exist over many presidents, and we did nothing. Now, I heard the other day that yesterday that the Iranian thing was a debacle. No, it wasn't. First of all, they warned them to get out of this, for a stay. But here's the thing, that these wartime warriors that call this station, all these people who wage war over a Hardee's biscuit in the morning on Saturday morning with their friends, this is what who would never put on a military uniform, don't know what war smells like. This is what they don't understand. Jimmy Carter could have went in there. We had the most impressive military back then. Still, just like we do today. But the same problems exist of going in there. And when he did send in the situation where it failed, America was upset that we felt like you should go in and do anything. But everybody don't have the understanding of what it takes. Sometimes strength is shown through restraint. And that's what Jimmy Carter did. If we could go and try to conquer every country out there, except countries that have nuclear weapons, because they could kill just as many as we do, and we get whatever we want to do. But if you're a real leader, sometimes you restrain from the strength that you have. This president has no understanding of that. So we send 300, 400, 1,000 millions. We spend $1 billion a day. We spend all this money that we do not have on things that we said we were going to spend money on, and then now there's an excuse to be made. Barry made the excuse. But Trump, he has to do this. What does he have to do? What is the end game of this war? Now it's back to no...
You know, Michael, that is the number one question. And I'm glad you said, what is the end game? That's what we need to know. That if you're opposed to that war, you need to know that. If you're in favor of that war, you need to know that. And we do not know that. I think that's an excellent question.
If you don't have an end game, you cannot have a strategy.
What
you
is
can't have
the
a strategy
end game?
if you don't have an end game. And I think we're stuck in a quagmire. We're going to get exactly what we went in there working.
I'm not sure it's a quagmire yet. I'm not sure it's a quagmire yet. But yeah, that's how you get stuck in quagmires, is you don't know what the end game is. Absolutely. Well, brilliant question, and I appreciate it, Michael. You have a good day. Thank you. You take care. All right, 222-9224. Where's it?
Trying to explain to him why the Republicans and the Democrats can't get along. And he was just a meowing back and forth. He was giving me his full attention. And I think what he wanted to do was me sit down so he could get up in my lap. But at least I had his attention. But couldn't come to no solution. You know.
That's because I'm not sure there is a solution. I don't know that we've
Well,
got it.
that's the problem. I can't come up with one. And I thought about it real hard. I said, why are the Democrats tearing down the United States of America? And why won't the Republicans form up behind Trump as a solid wall? And I can't get an answer to either one of them.
Well, they don't think, the Democrats don't think they're tearing down the country, and I think and the most of them are not. There's certainly a few that are going in that direction, but very few. Most of them just have a different view of what is right and what is wrong. Same thing with the Republicans, and they're, instead of compromising and saying, okay, we need to do the people's business, and you're not going to get this, and I'm not going to get that, but this is the best way to go, like we used to. We don't even talk to each other anymore. The first thing that we have got to do is start talking to each other, not yelling at each other. Sit down in a room and have a conversation. Talk back and forth and say, why are you so mad? You know, ask the questions that you just asked. Why are you so mad about this? And then have a real honest-to-goodness conversation. Doesn't have to be in the news. They can do it in the privacy of their own office. But they don't do that anymore. It's
all in front of the news camera.
And it's because they think it gives them some advantage to win what they think is win an argument in front of the press. Because, you know, the Democratic, you know, mainstream media is gonna favor one side over the other, and that's what's going on. Now, the Republicans certainly have their media that favors them, but they've got 3 members of the media, and the Democrats have 17. So the thing is, it's just, if you're going to talk in front of the media, we as Americans lose the political point of view. We will not win. These people have to talk among themselves and settle things and get things taken care of and do the people's business. And until we start doing that, I see a few things. There are a few things that have come out of Congress that have been, you know, totally and completely bipartisan. You know, just a few votes no on this side, a few votes no on that side, but they get some things done, and that is encouraging. I'd like to see more of that. That would encourage me more.
Well, it just seemed like to me that it wasn't too far back. About a year and a half ago, I stood in line and I cast one of the most important things that I own. Of all the stuff, a pile of stuff I own, I cast my vote. And my vote means so much to me. And I voted for President Trump to come back and lead this country.
To hell.
And I just brass tacks believe he has done the best he could to lead this country.
This is just you and me having a conversation.
That's a damn lie.
Just you and me. If you voted for President Trump, you just said you did. Did you think in your wildest dreams that he would start any war at all?
No.
Me either. I absolutely did not. That is the single most surprising thing that he has done. I would have thought that he would never have done that because he was so adamant about it, not having more wars. But I've heard his explanation, and I understand why he did it. And I think he would tell you that that when he was running for president, he would have never thought that he was going to start a war. He didn't think about it, but now that it started, we have to deal with it. And I think the question that Michael asked was just absolutely 100% on point, and that is, what is the end of this? What does it look like? We need to know what getting out of this looks like, and the problem is we don't know that. We've done that. You have the beginning, the middle, and the end. We know the beginning, we know the middle, but right now we're trying to talk to someone who's in charge and get the end taken care of. But we're not talking to the people in charge. There's always somebody coming up saying, "Oh no, we're not going to do that because we didn't agree to that sort of thing." And that's where we are now. So we need to, he needs to be the person that you think he is, and get that negotiated and get it negotiated right away, and let's get out of there.
Well, I'll give you a true life experience. I had a guy picking on me in elementary school. And, you know, my classic don't like bullies. And he followed me home. And then I was out, you know, we all had a bicycle back in the days. And I was taking a playing card, taking one of Mama's clothespins, going to make it, you know, sound like it had a motor on it. And we had several altercations, put it that way. And I looked out my bedroom window, and he was rolling my bike from the back of the house out to the front yard. Well, I done talked. My mama done talked to his mama, and it was down to the point of, you know, going to get to be a family feud. And I had had enough. So I grabbed up my favorite baseball bat and went out there and stood on the front of my bike and held the bat up in front of him. I said, "Get off my bike." You know, kids and their bikes are pretty possessive. And he reached up and grabbed the bat, and I pulled it back because I figured he was going to take my bat too. And he jerked it, and I turned loose of it. And he busted his own head wide. I mean, it just split it pretty as could be. And I didn't hit him. He hit himself. But he run down the road, and, you know, wasn't but a little bit. Here they come up here. My daddy come home from work. And we sort of got it all settled. But it took an act of violence. Sometimes you can talk, and you can talk till you're blue in the face. But you can't reach down into the soul of somebody else and change what they basically are. And that's what we're dealing with nowadays.
I think you just described exactly what changed his mind. You know, like you thought he would never start a war. I thought he would never start a war. I bet you he never thought he would start a war. What changed his mind was that you know, this was one of those situations where these people cannot have a nuclear weapon. And
That is not it. That is not it. The real reason was a cover up to distract from his Epstein mess. He didn't want that coming out, so he needed a distraction, and that's when he started a war.
An advocate for victims. For 25 years now, Sean Boone has been a reliable, respected figure in Alamance County's criminal justice system. Experience is vital to public safety, and Sean Boone is a tested, veteran prosecutor who will continue to fight to keep Alamance County safe. On November 3rd, vote to re-elect Sean Boone, District Attorney. Paid for by Sean Boone for District Attorney.
All right. So there's been an investigation, and some truths have come out. Somebody been doing some research, a detective. Okay. So there's been an investigation, and some truths have been revealed. Okay. Homeless, unemployment, solitude, hunger, bankruptcy, and wandering. Some truth has been revealed about why someone is homeless, unemployed, hungry, in solitude, bankruptcy, wandering, or why someone was homeless, unemployed. Okay. And what else? Holy Spirit, what about it? Some truth why somebody is homeless or why somebody was homeless. And whoever this is a clown. This is somebody who was performing and wearing a mask, and they thought some shit was funny. So some truth has been revealed why a clown is homeless. Yeah. This is somebody who wants to repair something. Somebody who wants to restore something. Somebody who wanted to restart something with you. So somebody who wanted to repair and restart something with you is the fucking clown. They was wearing a mask. This person is homeless and unemployed and in solitude and hungry. Somebody found out the truth about this person. There's been an investigation. And this is somebody who wanted to restore something with you. Seeker of restraints, but you practice abstinence and you're very disciplined. So, some truth has been revealed about you and a clown and how you practice discipline, abstinence, and you are a seeker of self-restraint. And whoever this person was or is, this clown wanted to restore, repair, and restart something with you. But sound like you wasn't having it? Okay.
And it was all fun and games when they felt like you were going through something. See, a lot of people have now had to regroup. Baby, people looking crazy on today. You gotta know that people are really having to rethink, redo, relive all of this stuff. And it's not that you're happy about it or this is something that you want to happen. No, this is what happens when you come up against a child of God. This is what happens when people do the worst with no remorse. These people had no shame. They didn't care about nothing. All they knew is they was happy to see that you was going through something. And it wasn't even that you were being punished or you were receiving karma, because let them tell it, baby, you was receiving your karma. You was receiving everything you needed to receive because you decided not to have them in your life. See, that's how delusional people really are out here. To believe that you were going through what was your preparation season because you didn't want them a part of your life. No, the mere fact that you kicked them up out of your life and you don't have any dealings with them anymore, that is when things started to happen for you. That's when you started to gain momentum. That's when all the motion started taking place. When you really got these people out of your energy, out of your space, and out of your face. See, the thing about it with a lot of people is they didn't expect for your life to look the way it looks on today. It's not your problem that they underestimated you. It's not your fault that they're not good people and they think just because nobody's looking, they can get away with all of their foul and evil deeds. Instead of them working things out internally, they want to be mad at you. They're mad at you because you have finally regained your strength and you have moved on with your life. You don't care about what they got going on. See, these people was happy when they thought you were down on your luck. Oh, they was good and happy when they thought they was going to continue to steal from you, lie on you. Oh, when they thought they had all kinds of people on their team. See, you walk alone, just you and God, your heavenly staff, that's it. And people think just because you walk alone and they can't see your heavenly staff and they can't see how protected you are out here, that they can just treat you any kind of way. See, they got to have a clique of people. They got to have a group of people on their team. They can't walk alone. That's why it took so many of them to take down just one of you. And they still failed at doing that. See, they laughed and mocked you when you really needed their help. And now that the tables have turned, it's your turn now. It's your turn to really be on top of everything that tried to be on top of you. And they still failed at doing that. See, they laughed and mocked you when you really needed their help. And now that the tables have turned, it's your turn now. It's your turn to really be on top of everything that tried to be on top of you. It's really your turn to go from the back to the front. It's really your turn now. And people got to deal with their actions. They gotta give it all out. Even their enablers, the ones that was there, the ringleaders, baby, they gotta deal with it too. They didn't get off scot-free. Oh, they looking crazy on today.
God has finally revealed the truth to you pertaining to this person's intentions. For years, they kept you stagnant. For years, they wanted you to feel less than. For years, they didn't want you to surpass them. Because this person knew that you had a bright future based on your characteristics, based on the genuineness of your heart. You have such a big heart, your heart needs to be studied. Your heart needs to be in the Guinness Book of Records because your heart is supernatural. It's not normal. And this person always knew you had a beautiful heart, and that is something they were jealous of, and that is something they envied for a very long time. Because deep down, they knew they had deep-rooted issues they had to heal from, and they knew that these deep-rooted issues were the cause of their wickedness, were the cause of their evil thoughts towards you and others, were the cause of their plots and schemes. And being around you made them feel less than. It's not that you're trying to make them feel less than, but when they looked at you, they saw everything they desired to be. But unfortunately, this person has a retaliative mindset. They don't want to forgive. They hold resentment. They hold grudges. And this type of person is someone that blames everybody else but themselves for their own folly. This is someone that justifies their own wickedness. And they saw things about your life that you didn't see. They saw the potential you had. And deep down, they tried to suppress and oppress and keep you on the shelf. They wanted nobody to see you. They wanted no one to discover you. They wanted no one to feel the effects that you have on their life. Because this person knew that you were special. They knew that God chose you. Not only because of how you carry yourself and because of the light that radiates from within, but this person also knew that God was with you. Because for the years, for the months, for the decades of plotting and scheming, you have overcame every single trap they threw in your way. And what's most surprising to them is the fact that they had access to you at this time. So they thought it was impossible for you to overcome these traps. Why? Because they had easy access to you. They had access to your food. They had access to your belongings. They had access to you face to face, where it was more convincing when manipulating you, because this is the kind of person that would look in your eyes and lie to you. They would look you dead in the eyes and pretend that they loved you, when deep down they had deep-rooted evilness and jealousy towards you. And what is keeping this person holding on to you for so long is the fact that they once had this access to you. It's the fact that they felt like they were so close to defeating you. And ever since you discovered who they are, because God has revealed it to you, you have detached yourself from them. You have closed all doors of association to them. So the only way they can try to keep themselves connected to you is by going to spiritualists, going to voodoo priests, like magic practitioners, to always keep tabs on you, is by creating fake profiles on social media to watch your profiles, is by asking other people if they heard from you. Because the access they used to have has been revoked. And this is triggering them. You ever see people that are so close to achieving something, and because they were so close to it, they cannot let it go? Every time they think about being so close to defeating you and completing what they wanted to complete, it bothers them. And that is what prompts them to keep going, because they feel that eventually they will have that access. What is really paining this person's chest is the fact that not only did you get away, but the inheritance on your life also got away. See, they knew the entire time that God had a plan for you. They knew the entire time that you're not like them and the many others that they associate themselves with. They knew the entire time that your oil cannot be replicated. They knew the entire time that you were set apart. even before you knew. And their goal was to keep you in the palm of their hand so they could have that full control over you. But ever since you detached yourself and left, they realize now the control that they once had, they will never have that control again. So they are having a very hard time releasing you because they know what is connected to your oil, what is connected to your purpose, what is connected to your legacy. They would have had access to had they not been so wicked, had they did the right thing. But you see, they couldn't help the jealousy. They couldn't help the fact that it was you and not them. And the reason being is because the lack of healing, the lack of accountability they chose to take for their own folly and wickedness. God gave them plenty of chances to make it right. God even told them that if they change, they would have access to your inheritance, similar to how Joseph's brothers, they ended up having access to his inheritance. This individual is so controlling, they are so stuck in their ways, and there is a spirit that is obsessively and possessively taking over their mind and their heart. It became too dangerous. And God had to remove you from them to spare your life. And now the only thing they have to hold on to is the memories of once being so close to defeating you. And that is the sad part, because instead of cherishing the memories of you truly loving them through thick and thin, instead of cherishing the memories of you being kind to them no matter what, instead of cherishing the memories that you wanted so bad to build a relationship with them or friendship with them, they chose to hold on to the memories of once being able to defeat you. And that is why they are currently under heavy judgment. Although they keep sending arrows your way, although they keep getting readings on you, and although they keep monitoring you on a daily basis, nothing has changed in your life pertaining to what God has in store for you. The only thing that has changed is your strength, your wisdom, your faith, and your glow up.
Well, when you give people the truth and they reject it and they want you dead, the only thing I know to do is just shake the dust off your feet and move on. Gnostic 5 Senses Knowledge, Kings and Queens, Entertainment Education. Get it, baby, get it.
My Lord's getting us ready for that. Ready. Yes, He is. My Lord's getting us ready for that. Ready. He's getting us ready. He's getting us ready for that. Ready. When the saints from every nation get together, we gonna have a good time. When we get it glory, we're gonna tell the story. The shore bells will be ringing. The angels will be singing. When all the saints from every nation get together, we gonna have a good time. Oh my Lord, what a time. He's making up his number for that great day. Oh, he's making up his number for that great day. Making up his number for that great day. When the saints from every nation get together, we gonna have a good time. When we get it going, we gonna tell a story. Your bells will be ringing. The angels will be singing. When the saints from every nation get together, we gonna have a good time. Oh my Lord, 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 oh my Lord. What a time! What a time! Tell me, will you be ready for that? Ready. I'd like to know. Will you be ready for that? Ready. I'd like to know. Will you be ready for that? Ready. When all the saints from every nation get together, we gonna have a good time. When we get it going, we're gonna tell a story. The joy bells will be ringing. The angels will be singing. When all the saints from every He